Hey, good morning, friends, neighbors. Chilly morning here in Portland. Storms across the central plains and up into who knows where. A little bit of snow recently, so sure looks to me like things are changing, whether we like it or not. So I've been trying to speak to environmental pollution because where we live is what we hand to our kids. And frankly, I'm not too overjoyed with what we've left. And I know there's got to be millions of other suburbia middle class folks wondering what the hell's going on. The people that didn't vote, people that were too pissed off to vote, didn't think it works, and I don't know if voting works either. I've got a serious question, but Oregon, where we are, has a much mostly gentler political world until the rednecks come out of the mountains, and they do. They sit up there for a month or two and stew and try to figure out what to come and cause trouble over. And they'll find a gay bar somewhere. So, this is the mentality that we've gotten to for some parts of the country. This lashing out because you're frustrated and you don't know what to do about it. But tearing shit down isn't my idea. I mean, sure, there's a purpose and a time. If it's an old building that could collapse in an earthquake, maybe it ought to be torn down. The wars over personal gods are tearing the country apart. And that's on purpose. There are folks feeding this, there are folks writing laws that feed this. So much of science is understood, well understood, and settled. Woman's human rights to bodily autonomy include humans. Every human has that right. I argue it's as soon as you're born. Before you're born, we owe you a damn good try. And what that means, I think, has been settled in law because of the gestation and the cycle of life that happens inside a woman's body. And God damn it, that's her choice. Her choice. She gets the 51% majority in the conversation. Consent. But it's not about consent, it's about conversation, knowing what you consented to. When you signed that agreement online that's 20 pages long about your information security, the joke's on you. You just bought a ticket to court if you want to do anything about it. There's no guarantees in there other than what the law has forced corporations to put in there. These conversations about security, the internet is designed now by corporations to track, follow, and connect you to a sale. That is what this monster does. That's its base intent, is to sell you something, sell you an idea, paint a pretty frame, to stick their picture in and try to sell it to you. Now, I'm saying this real serious and terrible, but this is just television. This is TV and life. These are soap operas. And while some soap operas are very close to real, others aren't. So I try to avoid most of the media. Honestly, I'll wait half the time for the comedians to cover something, then I'll go see what they're talking about. It is just such a diversion, such a joke to intelligence that some very small. These people, these arguments are coming from true minorities that are just basing their demands on poor education, on poor considerations. When a fetus becomes more important than a living being, something is very broken. Unless someone's put a frame around bullshit, then you're not seeing the real picture. You haven't got the right perspective. So, eh, I got 6 minutes. I didn't have anything this morning other than to say good morning. I want to get one out a day. Maybe later I'll find something to focus on. If you got a topic, suggest it.